Hey everyone, this is Dane Pontius with Dane Lane Art. I want to talk to you today about the paint that I use and the reason I use it. And to start off, just to give you a little of my background, I like to paint on wood versus canvas, primarily birch or maple most of the time. Sometimes it's whatever I can get that looks good to use. And over the years, in that discovery of switching to that, there's a few different reasons. For one, wood is more dense, and for the kind of painting that I do and the techniques I use, it's much more forgiving and um, much more workable for what I do. So, with that being said, the paint that I primarily use in my paintings is Valspar interior house paint. Yes, house paint. So when I stumbled onto this paint, um, it was for a few different reasons. At the time, I was doing quite a few murals, and I found that conventional acrylics, for artists just don't work very well for that, and uh, and I started using it on that. And when I started painting on wood, that's when I really discovered that I really enjoyed how it covered, and there's a few aspects to it that I really like. So drying points are a bit different than artist acrylics, uh, and for the kind of painting I do, that was kind of a critical thing. That's a whole nother video, and probably as far as some of the techniques, I'll share some of the techniques that I use and why that's a benefit for me. Um, and uh, the reason that uh, it's about all I use now is for a handful of things. For one, the I do a lot of smearing and a lot of rubbing, sometimes till my fingers hurt, to get the techniques. I'm sorry, to get the looks that I want out of my paintings. I primarily paint portraits of objects. Right now, I've been stuck on guitars for a while, and I really enjoy doing them. And with that being said, some of these paintings, the main bodies, they can have up to 20 layers of paint on them, sometimes more. And for different reasons, for some of it, I want to get the depth out of them. I want the texture out of them. And sometimes that's just the way, uh, that's just how long it takes. Uh, the benefit to me of using this paint also is color matching. So I am somewhat um, colorblind, not full colorblind. I obviously can see colors, but I've always had a real hard time mixing paint and matching paint, for specific shades. Sometimes it can take me, a day or two to mix one color to to the shade that I want, and sometimes it's only for a spot this big, so it can be frustrating at times. So in that aspect, it's my process is that when I start a new painting, I will take what colors I'm going to need um, to do that particular painting, or as many of them as I can. And I will take a paper plate and I will smear them out uh, and make a good swatch of them. And I will take that to Lowe's and I will have them color match those. This one, for instance, is yellow ochre. And once I have the the colors that I'm going to use in that painting, and I'm to that point, then I will start painting the portrait. And when I get the colors that I really want, once I mix the colors that I really want, like this, then I will do another swatch on another paper plate, and I will take them back to Lowe's and have them make those colors for me. And I do that for a number of reasons. It's completely, convenient for one. And the thing is, like I said, some of these paintings have 20 layers or more of paint on the bodies themselves. And so you go through quite a bit of it. And it's nice to know that you have enough of that color and you're not going to have to try and mix it again. And another reason is that when I am done with that painting, if I ever have to go back and touch up the original because it's damaged or whatever the case may be, I have set those colors aside and have written on the lids what I use them on, and it makes it much easier to repair one. Also, if I'm doing a commission and somebody says, "Hey, I really like that. I don't have, the original any more of it," I can tell them I can paint another one, and I can get it pretty close, having those colors set aside, and it makes it a little easier to paint to paint that particular piece again. And I would say the, biggest thing for me when I started using this, and really still is just price point. For the amount of paint I get in those, I think they're 8 ounces. It would cost me 3 times that to get a, professional artist acrylic paint for that. And I always feel bad when I don't use them all, or if they dry up and they're no good to use anymore. Um, it it sucks to waste it. So in that aspect, I've got paint here that's 4 or 5 years old that's still good, that I can still use. And if it isn't any good anymore, all I have to do is take it to Lowe's and give them the code, and they can make me the exact one again, no matter what color it is. So that's huge for me. And that's really the biggest reasons that I use it. If you're an artist, I would encourage you to try it, try the paint, and I would love to know what you think of it. I know it's not it's somewhat unconventional to use, but you're an artist. You're not, you know, nobody holds you down to one thing or one particular way of doing thing. And that's one thing you will learn about me, is that my primary goal when I start a piece, from beginning to end, um, I do not care what techniques I use. I like to figure it out myself, and a lot of it is probably not acceptable to a lot of artists. I do airbrush um, a lot of stuff in my paintings too. Again, all I'm after is the end result, and I'm always satisfied with the end result, and I never feel like that I have to keep painting on something to appreciate it or like it. When I'm done with it, I go, I like that. I'm done with it. Be done with it. So, with that being said, I hope you like this and follow me, and I will be making some more videos in the future of different stuff that I do and techniques that I use and the reason I do it. And I hope you enjoy them. Thank you.